Greetings, beloved divine diamond light, Lord and Lordettes of infinite love. All low vibrations we rise above represent peace and purity like a dove. Shrug. Christ consciousness shift here with a video. This one is about breakups. Yeah, when you have those love connections that come to an end. And I'm just gonna come and share with some advice on how to just handle them and go through these changes. So let me just tell you about my little love journey. I would say that I've had 3 serious relationships. The first one was serious, didn't last that long though compared to the others. But the first one, when that ended, I was left, and that shattered me. I was quite immature about love back then, especially compared to now, and I was shattered like for a very long time. I would say 5 years. I was not really, it took to heal. And just through watching other people's lives and circumstances, it helped me to heal when I saw other people's difficulties. Second relationship lasted a little bit longer. Like, that one came to an end and shattered me again. But unlike the first one, the second one kind of hollered at me here and there, kind of helped me get through it a little bit. And yeah, the reason why the second one shattered me again is because I thought, I'm ready now. I'm ready to have another serious relationship. I'm healed from the first situation, like properly, and then I got left again. And that shattered me, thinking, whoa, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? But I understand. There's no bitterness. And then the third one come, and the third one come when I was just starting to get into spirituality, getting into the deeper realms of spiritual knowledge and awareness, and that's when the third situation come. And like a good couple years, that situation lasted. Like, it lasted the longest. But instead of me being left, I reached a level of awareness which made me choose to separate. And yeah, that was the change. So I didn't really feel like as bad as being left when I was the one doing the leaving. But I would say the first one was D, the second one was S, and the third one was J or C. Say Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? No homo though. But yeah, JC. That was the third one. And I knew that it would have been more difficult for her than it was for me to have that split happen. And it seemed like spiritually, when I decided it's done, this girl started to experience hell. Like, things were just going bad to worse. And it seemed like when I cut the tie energetically, because even though I broke up with her, I still allowed to stay in my home. Crazy, you know what I mean? So she was doing her best to try and reverse what was going on, but it's a long time coming of us being separated, because I started my journey spiritually and she was not really on it. like I was. And the fact that she wasn't growing like I was, it created a separation energetically. And then that manifested in the physical, where we had to break up. But when I tell you, like, I definitely, um, it was kind of difficult. For one, I know what it's like to be left. When you're in a love situation and a love connection and someone says it's done, I know what that feels like. I don't really like to put people in those circumstances. But you see, when you are in awareness that some being connected to some people that are not um progressing, like there's levels of awareness which helps you to progress and make good choices. A lot of the things that happen in our lives are due to our decisions and the choices we make. And I would say that she wasn't making good choices. And it was to do with how she cared. And I understand now that me breaking up with her wasn't a situation where I'd stopped caring. Like, I actually still cared about her, but I have to care about myself at the same time. And it seemed like, you know, sometimes in a movie where someone's going to fall down a cliff or a hole or something and you hold on to them and then you're trying to save them and they're like, just say you're losing the grip, and then it's like, instead of trying to help themselves up and stuff, it's like they want you to go down with them. It's like that kind of scenario. And I had to be caring for myself to know that it's not for me to go down with them, because I've learned and grown to make better choices. So I'm not meant to go that way, the way that they're going. So you know what happens when the grip and the connection is gone? The person is falling down the hole and you're not. And that's what it seemed like. The situation, because we were still around each other when they broke up, she was telling me about all the negative things that was happening to her since we split up. And it was like I was holding her up, but she was still on the verge of going down. Like there was nothing I could do because of the choices she made, which I kind of advised her not to, but she didn't listen. And that was kind of like the nail in the coffin, even though we were separating energetically because of my growth. But I knew when that broke up happened, like we did speak about her problems and stuff, and like she did have a very difficult, she had like rough a rough kind of situation. She's been through a lot, I would say. You know what I mean? And that, me knowing what I know about her, makes me still care. And I still cared at the time of us breaking up. But it wasn't the type of care where I'm going to go down with her. Like, I'm not like, I put in a lot of work to reach where I reached in consciousness, to be going down with those that didn't level up in consciousness. That's not for me. That's not my karma. I was aware of that. And this is what I realized, because she didn't grow like I grew, like there was, I would just say the way she cared was not mature. Like she was caring about others that didn't really have her best interest. Like, she was caring about people that really didn't, that was really trying to create sabotage and more difficulties in her life. Like, and I advised her not to. She didn't listen. Rah. That's how it went down. But it wasn't for me to go down with her, because I knew, I could sense that that situation was not going to turn out how she thought it was. She just thought she could just go around caring about everyone, and that's how things, she's going to progress. But she, back then, couldn't see what I could see. And yeah, the compassion I had for that girl, like, I knew when we separated, and I heard all of the negative things that was going on in her life since I made that choice. And she was already going through and been through a lot of hardships, a lot of difficulties. Like, right, like, this is why I knew when she was lashing out and doing a lot of negative things behind my back, trying to make me jealous, trying to make me create situations for me to have to come back to her and all of that, I never, and still won't, really, like, talk bad about her, because for some reason she had a lot of difficulties, and it's compassion. Like, it's actual, it's real care. Like, even though I know she was trying to do the most to mess me up, believing that I don't care about her and all of this stuff, when that's not the fact. I have to care about both. Her issue was, she was caring about others to the point that she wasn't caring about herself properly. And that was what was wrong. She didn't have balance. She didn't have care for others as well as herself. She's just caring about others kind of blindly. And I was mature enough to know better. And hopefully this message, if she gets to hear it, might spark that awakening that I had. That you have to care about yourself as well as others. And sometimes leaving people to grow at their own pace, knowing that you can't help everybody, knowing that sometimes people have to face their karma and grow and learn from it. That you can't just be doing all of this caring stuff without structure, you know what I mean, without caring for yourself properly. It's not going to work out for you. So yeah, it was always care. And this is why I knew, even though she was doing stuff, up to now I wouldn't say anything bad about her, really. You know what I mean? Because, like, I understand, and there's compassion. That's one thing I kind of learned. That sometimes when somebody comes at you, if you understand that they're in suffering, the reason why they're behaving the way they behave is because they're suffering. Like, sometimes to retaliate and attack them and try to destroy them and all of that stuff, is like, you're not really understanding the situation on that deep level, that people are hurting, people are struggling, people are suffering, and sometimes they attack you because they see, or how they see you is that you ain't got no issues, you ain't got no problems, so they want to give you some. You know what I mean? Not understanding that it just comes with reaching certain levels to come across graceful and in a good state most of the time. So yeah, I just needed to address that. And another little point I would like to say is, when me and JC was together, we did have a kind of situation where we vowed to love each other. And even though I did make that vow and we both agreed we didn't need no spiritual authority, like we were, we knew, well, I definitely knew at that time that I was source in the flesh, and my word is just as powerful as anybody else. If I decide to choose to say something and make an agreement, I can stick to it. In John 1:1, it says, in the beginning the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And no, sorry, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And to break that down, it's like what you say creates. And it's very good for you to be true to your words. Don't just be saying stuff and not following through. So, but the point of the matter with me bringing up the fact about our vows to love each other, like, I could say that I'm still keeping to the vow just because I am no longer willing to be with her, because being with her would have caused more struggles and difficulties in my life. We vowed to love each other, but it wasn't on the, we didn't say for better or for worse. I don't really agree with for better or for worse. Like, when two people come together in love that are suitable for each other, it is meant to make things better. I don't agree with getting with somebody and their life, this situation, this connection is causing your life to get worse. So I don't agree with for better or for worse, but I definitely agree with loving people like eternally. And even though I still have love, that doesn't mean that I can be with her. So I've still kind of stuck to the vow, even though I'm being technical about it. At the end of the day, loving somebody doesn't mean you have to be with them and connected to them. You can love people from a distance, and that's what I am doing. But yeah, breakups, family. What I would say, what I would advise for those that are that may be struggling through breakups and separations, please try and look on the bright side. Please try to remember the good memories, and please learn. Like, please understand that relationships are about learning. When you have love connections, you're meant to learn and grow from them, regardless if they don't last forever or if they don't last 10 years or whatnot. Like, just know that those connections, those times that you spent with each other, talking about each other's issues and helping each other, all of that helps your soul to grow. And that's what we're here to do. This planet is a school for souls to come and learn and grow in consciousness. So yeah, I think I covered it. Learn from your love connections. They may not last forever. And appreciate the connections, even if they might end a bit bad. Alright, family, I'm gonna leave y'all in peace, love, oneness, amen. So be it.